Jerod Mayo is very clearly trying to distance himself from the Belichick way of operating. He's had praise for Belichick in pretty much every one of his media availabilities. He hasn't gone out and bashed his former coach or anything, but from the way that he's handling things internally with his staff and with his roster and with some of these moves, and just the way that he's handling the media, he's making a concerted effort to not be a Belichick clone, which is what so many of Belichick's former assistants have tried to do, most of them very unsuccessfully in their head coaching roles. The fact that Mayo sat down, the first thing he said was, "Hey guys, great to see all you. I hope today is a chance for us to kind of explain some of the moves that we've made, why we've been kind of handling the offseason the way that we have, and sort of what our vision is for the next couple of months." If you look back at any of the Bill Belichick availabilities at the owners' meeting, at these coaches' breakfast, this is notoriously the worst Bill Belichick press conference of the entire year. He just kind of sits there, grunts through everything, will barely say two words about anybody on his roster or off his roster. I mean, you would never have pictured Bill Belichick saying, "Yeah, we made a hard push for Calvin Ridley. It's too bad it didn't work out. We would have loved to have him as a player, but we're moving on in a different direction." That's something that never would have come out of Bill Belichick's mouth. So again, the success of Jerod Mayo is going to be dictated by how successful he is on the field and how quickly this Patriots rebuild sort of completes itself. But I think it's been very interesting that he's basically handled himself very intentionally, I think, since his hiring of saying, "Hey, I've got all the respect in the world for Bill, but I didn't really agree with the way that he did some things, and I'm going to change those and do things differently." We'll see if it works out for him. But from a media perspective, it's obviously kind of refreshing to have a coach who's willing to be as open as Mayo has so far.
And do you have any potential trepidation in terms of the way that transparency can maybe work against him? Or do you really just think it's at the end of the day, as long as you have success, it doesn't really matter? Because obviously with so many years of Bill Belichick, we're kind of trained that things have to be tight-lipped because that was what worked for them. But obviously this is a new era, and we're kind of just, obviously Mayo is as well in his regime, but we're kind of feeling our way through a very different environment. So how do you feel about that?
It's all going to be dictated by whether he has success. If he has success, this is what the Patriots needed. It's a refreshing new voice. It's a deviation from an antiquated method that Bill Belichick has. If it doesn't have success, it's going to say, "Man, you chased this guy out because he was kind of a grump and he was sort of stuck in his ways. You should have just stuck with Belichick. Look, they're trying it a different way and it's not working." I think Mayo has already sort of gotten himself not in trouble, but he's created some headlines that he probably didn't want to create with his burn some cash comments, which I think maybe set.
Not walk back, by the way. That was interesting.
Yeah,
he's God meant it. He stood on it.
Yeah, but I think maybe set some expectations unrealistically for the fan base, saying, "All right, they're going to go out and hand out another $200 million guaranteed. Let's go." Obviously, didn't really turn out that way. So I'm sure it's going to be a situation where he will probably put his foot in his mouth a couple of times, just trying to be open or trying to kind of joke around or do whatever that I'm sure is it's going to be received very differently, whether the Patriots are winning or whether they're continuing to struggle. But I think it's a welcome change. I don't think you need to be as kind of secretive and buttoned up as the Patriots were. They obviously had a lot of success with that for a long time, but a lot of other teams recently have shown that it's not the only way to win in the NFL. And now Jerod Mayo is certainly skewing a little bit more toward some of those other teams than his predecessor.
See how it plays out. But like you said, it's all about the success they have or they don't have.
Testing my skills on Prize Picks this season is the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. Use the code CLNS for the first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.